I wanted to watch this because this has been in my recommended loads. How the internet destroyed Generation Alpha. I like that as well. Like not just, you know, made a little bit worse. Destroyed! How the internet destroyed, annihilated Generation Alpha. So I'm guessing this is a video just to basically briefly show that we are absolutely cooked as a species. Like, we are done. Can you play Wolfenstein? No. Thank you for the 5. No. The content in this video is for informational purposes only. Is it going to say don't harass anyone? It's like, don't harass the... What is Gen Alpha? Gen Alpha are actual, like, 5-year-olds, right? Hang on. Because I'm Gen Z, but I'm in, like, the lower end of the bracket of Gen Z. Because Gen Z is, yeah, 97 to 2012. So I'm just about in Gen Z. Like, by the skin on my teeth. I'm old. So what's Gen Alpha? 2010 to 2024? Oh my, so it is actually like the Zoomers. The Zoomies. Wow. Oh my god, I was close to being... Wait, no, I'm a millennial? Am I a millennial? No, millennials are like old people, dude. Millennials are like the people on TikTok where they do like a 5-second pause before they start speaking. That's not me. I'm not a millennial. There's no way. I mean, technically a Zoomer is until you're 30. As soon as you're 30, you're a boomer. So I'm 27. But yeah, let's give it a watch.
What are all those touchscreens doing to all those growing little brains?
All she wants for the holidays is, well, not toys, but skincare products.
All I wanted this year was skin.
Is this... Hang on. These subtitles here, is this Opera GX doing this? I think it's Opera GX doing this. I'm not sure. Is it Opera GX doing this? I swear I don't remember those subtitles.
Who?
I don't remember those subtitles.
Generation Alpha?
Oh no, I think it's something that he added. Okay.
What are all those?
Here was skin.
No, because I saw these when I was watching the last video. When I was watching the last one.
Hair and makeup.
11-year-old Olivia Clyde is obsessed with beauty products.
8th grade kid could not spell a single word correctly on this list. 8th grade.
I'll be honest though, I was absolutely horrendous at school. I remember like every single parents' evening I'd have would be like, he's obviously clever, he just doesn't apply himself, he doesn't pay attention. And I remember at every parents' evening they'd always say to my parents, like, if he was working like a 9 to 5, he will be absolutely depressed and miserable. But he's just not applying himself. I was so weird, like I applied myself really well in biology and English, but like maths and stuff, I just hated. I just hated. I just did not apply myself at all.
Great.
Generation Alpha, the supposed future leaders and current generation of our society. But with the way they're growing up, will they actually be the future generation to make an impact? Or is Gen Alpha as doomed?
Clever but lazy, the worst lie that school taught us. Yeah, I saw that people are saying that Gen Z is now like the promotional generation. Or the managerial. No, not the managerial. Entrepreneurial, if that's the right word. That's right. Like,
hey,
you know, because...
Pyro, I saw you were watching Interloper in a previous stream. When will you put that on the Pyro TV channel? It's one of my favorite ARGs and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it.
Thank you, Casey, for the month. Thank you, Spin, for the 10. Yeah, it's going out on the TV channel. But yeah, I saw a lot of people basically saying, like, you know, because you go to college to go to uni, to get a degree, to get a job, to be happy. But then we're kind of noticing now that most people that get jobs and stuff, they aren't happy. And it's like, if you're working in, like, retail or you're working in like, a coffee shop or something, and you're, like, maybe still doing education to get a job, like, what shows you're going to be more happy later on? You'll be getting more money, but then are you going to be more happy?
as people say it is. Who are Generation Alpha? Gen Alpha, or people born between 2010 and 2025, is said to...
Every generation thinks the next generation is doomed, then nothing happens. Yeah, I mean, boomers literally bought their houses for like 20 quid and then complain to us that we're lazy. But yeah.
Become the most populated generation in history, with over 2.8 million kids born every week. They follow Gen Z and are the children of the millennial generation. Although Gen Alpha is populating a large amount of society, why do other generations think there's no hope for this generation? With countless...
One thing I've noticed as well are like the generational gap will always get bigger because people are having kids later on in life. Like my grandparents, like people that are like my grandparents' age, they had kids when they were like 10. It was weird, bro. Like that they squirted out kids straight away, almost like the Black Death was coming for them. It was weird. And then, you know, the generation after that that have kids when they were like, you know, 18 or something. And now people aren't having kids until like their late 20s. Like most YouTubers now that have kids, it's their late 20s or it's their early 30s.
Cases of kids acting out in public.
My grandma is one of 14. Oh, I thought you said your grandma had a kid at 14. I was like, God, please. Like, what country, bro?
Lashing out and behaving erratically, many believe that Gen Alpha is already ruined. You see babies and toddlers often throwing temper tantrums.
Didn't let me borrow the iPad to watch Pyrocynical. I love wasting my mom's stock options on your silly little streams.
Thank you, Big Metal Pipe.
I cuss my mom out if I don't get my Pyrocynical fix.
I feel like Generation Beta. What is Generation Beta? Is that after Alpha? Oh, God. I don't even want to think about that generation. They're not even here yet. I feel like Gen Beta will be looking back on Skibidi Toilet posting about how they were born in the wrong generation in 16, similarly to how Zoomers post about wanting to have been born in the 90s. Yeah, it's like one thing I've noticed. Like, have you seen how, like, there's so many indie games that are coming out now that are like, you know, the old pixel graphics and stuff like that? Like a PS1 game with the dithering. And then a lot of these devs are really young. They're like 17 and 18. They never even lived in that generation. So it's almost like this kind of like faux nostalgia for a generation that people didn't live in. It's really interesting. Or just because games were a lot better back then as well.
The second their smart devices are taken away. And teachers...
Thing is, okay, I know I'm pausing a lot. We make this cope that it's kids on their iPads. And one thing I've seen, I think a lot of people online have a lot of self-hatred for themselves that they don't want to admit. I see these TikToks all the time, right? Of like a bunch of kids outside, they're playing like in their neighborhood, like the sun's out. They're all like, you know, using Nerf guns or water guns or whatever. And then all the top comments are like, oh, they don't know how good they've got it. Bro, everything feels so empty now. And then you'll see another TikTok of like grandparents taking their kids out to a restaurant, right? The grandparents are eating their food. And then the grandchild is just there on an iPad, just not interested. And everyone is like blasting the kids.
The kids yearn for the mines.
Thank you, Boris, for the 10. So true. The kid gets blasted, even though he's like 5 years old. Like every picture of me when I was a kid at a family gathering, I was always on my Nintendo DS. Always. I was a complete social autist. Like this has always been a thing. This isn't like a new thing because of like Skibidi Toilet and stuff. I mean, will it be a lot worse than what it was before? Maybe. Maybe. I think like COVID and other stuff like supercharged that. You're definitely going to have a generation of people that are like a lot more insular. What do they call it? The lonely generation? Like people that just feel lonely? I mean, why do you think like there's probably been more live streamers in the past like 5 years than there has been like ever? Like it's such a saturated market now. Because a lot of people nowadays, they usually just don't go outside, do they? They're just like indoors consuming content. A good example is with Mad Max Furiosa. Apparently that flopped at the box office. It's going to have the worst turnout for a Memorial Weekend in America ever. And then the film Atlas that came out on Netflix, even though that is completely steaming garbage, that is actually doing better numbers than Furiosa. Because all you got to do is, you know, put your ass on the couch, watch Netflix. And also because cinemas are still trying to make money back after COVID, it's like $60 for two people. Like you get like 2 movie tickets, you get like a drink, some popcorn, $60.
Are begging parents to do something because their kids barely scrape by in school. Time and time again, we hear about just how doomed Gen Alpha is. But where are these horror stories coming from? And what makes Gen Alpha so different from all the generations before them? The short answer, the internet. The rise of iPad kids. When you think of a kid in today's day and age,
the terminally online generation will make more pieces of modern art, such as Skibidi Toilet. Skibidi Toilet will 100% be in a museum. It will definitely be in a museum like 20 years from now, like reminding us of how bad the internet was at that time.
how do you picture them? Most of you probably had an image of a kid with an iPad in their hands, right? That's because Gen Alpha is not only the youngest generation, but also the most technologically dependent one. Generation Alpha was raised by screens, whether by TV, a computer, or the infamous iPad. With almost 80% of kids owning an iPad or another version of a tablet, you can't deny the nickname that many call this generation.
I have never seen a kid without an iPad, to be fair. Like in a push chair, or yeah, it's like any public setting. Like I've been like a restaurant or something, and then you just see like family with a kid. But again, it's like I know people look at it and they think it's disgusting. I personally wouldn't let my kid use an iPad, but I do think as well, like, what else are you gonna do? Like, it's your kid, right? What are you gonna do? Just sit there and have like a conversation with him? How's the weather today, little Johnny? Did you put any money into the stocks?
YouTuber for kids versus MrBeast calls Pyro has a 2-minute N-word compilation and MrBeast doesn't.
Oh, you crippo for the 10. Play Legos with them, you sociopath. Yeah, no, I did actually, when I was in Sweden, I did actually see like a family in a restaurant and they were playing like Jenga with their kid. And even though they made so much noise, like, because the tower kept falling every 5 seconds, I was like, that's actually really cute. Because it's like, you know, actually family bonding together instead of just like, Flappy Bird, Flappy Bird.
Generation iPad kids.
This is what happens when mom and dad take away an iPad from 2-year-old Ashlyn Brooks.
Where is Mr. Beast? Where is Mr. Beast? You could definitely tell she was like really invested in the latest Mr. Beast Reacts video with Carl Jacobs, and mom was like, no, you've got to eat your alphabet spaghetti.
Since their creation, iPads have been used as a tool for parents who are simply too busy with work. Technology has proven to be a hassle-free way of...
That is the video that is literally the video I referenced, by the way. That's the one.
This is Chuck.
That is the exact one. That's crazy.
A hassle-free way of keeping kids occupied.
I mean, you look at it from an outsider's perspective, and it is kind of sad. But this is my reasoning behind it, right? I did this as a kid. I did this, you know, because I can't exactly have like deep, meaningful conversations with like, you know, grandparents and stuff. I mean, you talk to them and stuff, definitely, but like, you're not going to be talking to them all the time. Sometimes there will be downtime where you're just like, you know, on your phone checking or something. And I genuinely think when people look at this and they have like disgust for the child, it's almost like a bit of self-resentment for people watching, because they think when my grandparents were alive, I didn't actually spend as much time with them as I should have. Because you never can. You can never spend enough time with someone that you love, because once they're gone, hindsight will try to fuck with your brain and make you think, oh, you could have spent more time, and you didn't. So I genuinely think it's a little bit of self-resentment when you see like a literal toddler on an iPad. You're like, disgusting.
Whether at public places, social events, or just during the day-to-day. With iPads being an evolved version of parenting in the 20th century, screens are...
Like, I know for a fact, like, when my grandparents on my mum's side, when they pass away, like, you know, I'm definitely, you know, I'm going to be depressed. I'm going to think, you know, like, wow, I did not spend enough time with them. Like, I was just making fucking YouTube videos and stuff and wasting my time. But you'll always do that. You will always... Hindsight is the worst idea ever, because it always makes you think that you've just never done enough of something.
Simply considered the new nanny. And although parents...
One thing that's really funny as well is, like, my nan texted me, and apparently she watches, like, every single video I upload. She said, quote unquote, that she's my biggest fan. And she's probably in this stream chat right now. If you're watching, hi, Nan. Hi. No one make a weird dono. Okay, no one make a weird dono, please.
may benefit from relaxing after work, iPads could be doing more harm than good. It's gotten to a point where Gen Alpha is entirely reliant on their devices, growing a digital addiction that they cannot seem to stop. In 2012, a 3-year-old boy was kicked off an Alaskan Airlines flight from Seattle because of the extreme temper tantrum he threw after getting his iPad taken away. The kid had been playing with a tablet before takeoff, but when planes ascend, all devices were asked to be turned off, and this one iPad was no exception. But when flight attendants tried—
Well, you have to turn devices off? No, you don't. I don't even turn airplane mode on. Like every time I fly on a plane, I always see, like, you'll hear the instructional video where it's like, oh, turn off all electronic devices, and then you literally just have everyone on their phone just like completely ignoring the instructional video.
Tried to get the kid to turn his tablet off, he started to wreak havoc. The child began a raging outburst, hitting his head against the roof of the plane and desperately begging for his tablet back. His family tried to calm him down and buckle him in so that they could take off, but no one was able to control him. Things got so bad that the pilot had to turn the entire plane around on the runway. The boy and his entire family was escorted off the flight, causing them to miss their vacation to St. Martin Island. And this was over 10 years ago at the start of the iPad Kids generation. Since then, Gen Alpha has grown.
I just think that's an example of a deeper problem. I mean, it's like from my perspective, it's pretty obvious that that kid had like autism or ADHD or something and just wasn't being treated. So he just had like, and obviously the iPad was like pacifying him. And then, you know, when it gets taken away, it has a complete meltdown. Also, kids flying on planes, it can be actual hell for kids because when you ascent or descent, the pressure change can like, it's horrible. Like my sister's got like a perforated eardrum. She's like she's like a few years younger than me. But when we were kids flying, like she would literally be crying in pain because her ear would literally feel like it was about to explode from the pressure difference.
More attached to their devices. Social media has become a part of their day-to-day routines for better or for worse, and it's caused kids to become addicted to the internet. And the stay-at-home crisis that happened in 2020 only—
Yeah, that's the one thing that, yeah. Okay, like I feel like I've been pretty contrarian this whole video, but that's true. Like the whole TikTok marketing, like I genuinely think TikTok has supercharged like the biggest cases of body dysmorphia we are ever going to see and we ever have seen. Like imagine, right, that like, you know, women, they blame the Kardashians for them feeling like they're never happy with themselves, but now it's everyone, every influencer. Like, because I'm a male, I go on TikTok as a male and I get recommended like a lot of like bodybuilding stuff, right? And the amount of people that are like, you know, taking Tren and stuff when they're like 18. And you see people in the comments like, oh, I'm 15. Can I start taking Tren? And then people will be like, oh, I saw an old video of Arnold Schwarzenegger. And he looked really tiny compared to bodybuilders today. And then they always try and show you products and stuff as well. Like, you know, you'll get these people on TikTok that will post like how they're absolutely shredded and then be like, you know, mental health awareness day.
Love the streams. Wanted to ask if you've ever thought about doing a main channel video on Rain World, since it's one of the 2 games that have made you cry.
Rain World, yeah, I do want to do Rain World at some point.
This money is for editors and animators only. Don't you dare spend it on one of your art commissions. Also get the Rare Specimen achievement already. How did I get it before you?
Oh, I forgot about Rare Specimen. Oh, right. Okay, never mind. We'll do Black Mesa after this. I totally forgot about that. I'm sorry. I totally forgot about that. Did I cry at Red Dead 2? No.
Made things—
No, I didn't cry at all. Not at Red Dead 2. I only cried at Rain World at the intro.
Worse. Kids were locked indoors and were unable to get any sort of social interaction from other peers or—
How did I not cry at Red Dead 2? The entire plot was Le Sad Cuff.
Teachers. Gen Alpha was treating technology like a full-time job, devoting 40 hours a week to using it. With social media being accessible to anyone, internet usage was at an all-time high. They couldn't go out to play because of restrictions, so the only way they could get any form of contact with the outside world was through their devices. Gen Alpha was going through critical development phases during the stay-at-home crisis. The online world became their new reality because it was all they knew, and considering the sort of horrible stuff that we have access to online, this is concerning. Technology usage on its own isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's the content that's being consumed that's the real perpetrator. Parents may think that they know what their kids are watching online, but sometimes things aren't what they seem, even in videos.
Genuinely, I would actually be like terrified raising a kid today. I actually think I would just never... It's so difficult though as well, right? Because it's like, if you never let your kid on the internet, you're protecting your kid, but also, would they be like socially stunted because they don't get like all the latest memes and stuff? Like your child comes home from school, Daddy, what is Skibbity Gronk Riz? What is this Phantom Tax? You know, I didn't even know that Giat, you know Giat, like ass? I didn't even know that came from Kai Cenat. Like Kai Cenat has actually had such an impact on this generation, it's crazy. Because I thought Phantom Tax was just his bit, but it's Giat as well.
Supposedly made for kids. Internet brain rot.
Okay, I saw this video. I was gonna wait. I saw this video and it perfectly encapsulates how cooked we are, boys. Let me show you. It's so good. It's so...
I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson.
So this is meant to be a nursing home in the year 2080.
I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson. I couldn't find you any grimace shakes.
Grandpa?
Grandpa, stop! Give me that shit!
What the Sigma?
Oh my God, Grandpa, shut the...
Nurse, may I just say you look absolutely W skibbity thick with two C's today.
Yeah! No, I don't...
Would you perchance throw it in a rhombus?
Excuse me?
What? She's got...
Dude, this isn't 2080. This is me as soon as I hit 30. This is me in 3 years.
Got that BBL Drizzy. No. And I've got that Drizzy Glizzy, if you know what I mean.
Mr. Johnson, Grandpa, stop hitting on the nurse.
Let me cook, damn it.
No.
Oh, it's so damn chalant.
What is chalant?
Do you have a bussy?
A what? Grandpa.
A skid bussy?
No,
Grandpa?
I don't.
Fat bussy?
No,
Grandpa. L's in the chat.
No, you're a horrible
in the
person.
You're spinning on it, Brody.
What?
Absolutely doing tricks
What
on
are you
it.
doing?
L's
You're
in the
fucking
chat.
creepy.
No, whatever, boy. You don't have no aura anyways.
What do you mean?
You did not get my locked-in jeans.
I don't know what that means.
I bet you wipe instead of letting it crust,
What
huh?
the fuck is that?
I'm a mythic for you page pulling. You know okay, I fought on the front line.
No, that is one thing I absolutely despise seeing on TikTok, by the way. Like the amount of like new gens that go into the comments on like a very mid at best TikTok saying, mythic FY people.
The Kumalala Sylvester War.
That's not a real thing.
I was edging before you took your first steps.
Wrong.
You fell off.
Okay, Grandma.
You're in your flop era.
All right.
Phantom Tax Bros views.
I don't know who
You're a chill yang.
A what?
Oh yeah.
What is
Trust
that?
me, you don't want to be a chill
Grandpa,
yang.
what is...
Oh, would you look at the time? It's Munto clock. Gotta go munting with the
Grandpa.
munt buddies.
All right, happy munting.
I love my favorite bit.
Miss Shakes.
My favorite bit is this. I'll be honest, in a nursing home, I actually want a soundboard. I actually want an autistic soundboard.
Grimace Shakes.
Grandpa?
Grandpa, stop! Grandpa, stop!
Oh, hell no. Right. All right, back to the brain rot.
You might have heard of the term brain rot, popularized.
You might have heard of brain rot.
Mr.
No.
Pyro
Where?
Live.
Where from?
On May 24th it was my birthday. Now that I could tune in, a bit late, for a late birthday wish from my least liked streamer, I ask that you say this. I, Pyro, concede that Dolan and Sloplive is better than my channel, Pyro Live birthday boy wish.
I, Pyro, concede that Dolan and Slop Live is better than my channel, Pyro Live. Birthday boy wish. I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all.
By social media, brain rot is the term that internet users have created to describe those lacking proper socialization and are obsessed with digital content to an unhealthy level.
Dude, that's literally me. Dude, is this meant to be Gen Alpha or me? I feel this video is made about me. Damn.
Gen Alpha content is some of the most incoherent brain dead I've ever seen in my life, okay? Like I can physically feel my brain cells frying.
The thing is, we do roast this kind of content, right? Like, we call it brain rot, but like, what was this? 10 years ago? What was this? MLG Teletubbies? Like that, that was also brain rot. We always had brain rot, but brain rot is a flat circle. It will always keep repeating itself. It's like Ouroboros. It's like the snake that keeps eating itself. It will endure forever. It will just change into something slightly different. There will always be kids that just get into these really autistic trends. No, they were based. There's no way everyone's saying peak at MLG Teletubbies. Dude, I've been doing this for 10 years. I've been doing this for 10 years, bro. Damn.
I've ever seen in my life, okay? Like, I can physically feel my brain cells frying every second I spend watching this.
Level 100 Gaiat. Ice Spice Riz W Riz Gaiat. You've Gaiat to be rizzing me in Ohio at 3 a.m.
What? Okay, what they need to understand, though, with this, and I think it's a little bit... They're not painting the full picture. This is ironic. Is it still brain rot? Yes. But he has not at all talked about the aspect that people are making this to mock those kinds of... The only reason why the Giat stuff and that didn't die out is because, you know, everyone at school, it's like, do you watch Kai Cenat? Oh, is he the guy that, like, does the funny soy face? And he has, like, famous people in his room? Oh, yeah, that guy. And then, like, you never watch him. You never get involved in the community. So all you do is keep hearing this, like, Giat, Riz, Ice Spice stuff over and over and over to the point that it's like, oh, my God, this is, like, pissing me off. So then, like, people started, like, semi-sarcastically engaging with the meme. And then it just became, like, complete irony. Like, no one would even know what Phantom Tax or Giat was until it was supercharged by irony. If you had cable TV during your childhood, you've officially reached Unk status. I had cable TV. Well, I didn't have cable TV. We couldn't afford it. Can we please get MLG Bluey? No.
Spice Riz W Riz Gaiat. You've Gaiat to be rizzing me in Ohio at 3 a.m.
When you think about brain rot, Gen Alpha tends to be the usual
fake country. Where are you from, little bro?
Demographic that comes to mind. That's because the internet has...
Thank you, Generic, for the 5 BBL Dolan.
It's been their primary means of interaction with the world since they were born. Brain rot content can also be identified by...
I was the Dolan reply guy. Was that you, Athropod? Congrats, buddy. You just got timed out. Unlucky.
The constant usage of internet slang, overly bright colors, and attention-grabbing content that switches every...
Again, though, like, attention-grabbing content, it's because YouTube is so saturated. Like, you need to have, like, the AIDS Mr. Beast thumbnails.
Brain rot content can also be identified...
But this stuff, to be fair, is not ironic. Like this is the stuff you actually see on, like, 2-year-olds' iPads.
...by the constant usage of internet...
You're so skibbity.
That slang, overly bright...
It is funny how the ironic people have slipped in and they realize they can make a killing by, like, baiting all the kids to watch their content.
Colors and attention-grabbing content that switches every few seconds. A key example is popular kids media like Skibidi Toilet that seem to capitalize on Gen Alpha's decreasing attention.
I like that comment saying I'd spend 10 minutes explaining what a dog is. That's pissed me off so much, man. That's really annoyed me. Thank you, Jamie, for the 7 months.
Span by overwhelming them with hyper-stimulating content. Skibidi Toilet is a web series on YouTube that features a variety of models from games like Garry's Mod and Counter-Strike as they battle in a raging war. The two sides are singing human-headed toilets, which are called Skibidi Toilets, and humanoids who have human bodies.
There's no way he's trying to briefly give a synopsis to Skibidi Toilet.
But items as their heads, like cameras or TVs. The series...
Hey, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that, bro? I got a TV head on my character. What's wrong with that? Nothing wrong with that, bro. What are you taking shots for?
It was created by a man named Alexei Gerasimov. It first premiered on YouTube in February of 2023. Since the first episode was released, the channel had gained over 40.6...
Huge fan here. I was just wondering about one thing that I've been wanting to ask you for a while now.
What's up?
Is Metro booming?
Leon, if that's you, I'm banning you for real. Is that actually you, or is that someone pretending to be you? He's gone silent.
6 million subscribers and has over 15 billion views to date. Each episode features the Skibidi Toilets and other characters engaged in full-on conflicts, animated in the most obscure and dramatic ways. There's never a dull moment in the videos, which to Gen Alpha is the exciting part.
To be fair, Skibidi Toilet is also made by a Russian. And I have known a lot of Russian people through YouTube that have been like my age, like growing up. And in Russia, you have absolutely fucking nothing to do apart from go outside, get frostbite, or become an alcoholic. So many Russians just grow up indoors. Like that's why CS:GO is still so big, because it's all the Russians. They literally have nothing to do. So their entire like childhood is just like playing video games. So they become like masters at it. All I'm saying is the guy that made this his power level is just a little bit higher than like the average kid in like America or in the UK that spent their childhood growing up. Because at least we had the option to go outside and we probably didn't take it. In Russia, they don't.
Surface level, this might just seem like out-of-the-box, wacky content for kids. But the harsh reality of it is that Skibidi Toilet could be damaging to children. With the constant overstimulating content, kids get used to hyperactivity, making everything else feel mundane. This can...
To be fair, there has been a huge spike in like ADHD and autism in the past 20 years or so. But it might also be that people are only just, people are only now understanding how big it is. Because I'm still convinced I've got ADHD. Like, I was going to get tested for it. But then I don't ever say that out loud. Because, you know, do you know how many people, like how many YouTubers go, I've got ADHD, and they just use it as like a I'm special card or something? Because I feel like so many people, like, you know, self-diagnose and stuff. They'll go, it's like, where did you get that from? WebMD? Damn, you're cool, bro. Let's hang out. So yeah, if I had it, I would want to get tested by a professional. Not just use like WebMD or something.
Can cause irritability, a low attention span, and
it's 100% overdiagnosed. Yeah, no, I do think like doctors would rather just throw pills at people instead of like trying to find out what the actual... Because genuinely, if I got told I had ADHD, I would be scared of taking meds because I would be then scared of becoming reliant on it. So I probably just like be like, okay, how do I treat it like with therapy instead of like, you know, having to actually take meds for it. Thank you, Hallowed, for the 5. Don't want to bring down the vibe, but going through some hard shit right now. Divorce, kids, the works. You make me smile, TY. Damn, that sucks, bro. I'm sorry to hear that.
Pyro should make MLG Teletubbies 2, Petscop 2, Car Sex 2. And Shrek has Swag 5 to bring his channel back to its former glory.
That's crazy how your name was XX Quickscope. Yeah, sorry to hear that though, Hallowed. That sounds awful. I hope you're getting the support you need. Definitely.
The lack of...
Thank you, Dr. Pepper, for the 2. Being on meth all the time is super based.
Patience, since kids are now so used to hyperstimulation. Parents have long since been concerned with whether or not Skibidi Toilet is appropriate for their kids to watch. And it even got to a point where Russian authorities had to get involved to investigate the show. A Moscow man concerned over Skibidi Toilet's detrimental effects on children asked the police to block the videos from the internet to prevent kids from watching it. This investigation has gotten mixed opinions so far.
Okay. All that Russian guy had to do is lie and say to the police, they're actually saying Skibidi Toilet means I'm voting for Joe Biden. And Russia would have just blocked Skibidi Toilet and every instance from it from anywhere in Russia.
With some claiming that getting the police involved over a kid's series is ridiculous. Other parents...
so epic, and I can tell all my friends about it and we'll all laugh out loud.
No.
Also echoed the same concerns, believing that Skibidi Toilet may be doing more harm than good. While there's still no conclusive answer as to whether or not the series is negatively affecting children, this form of hyper-stimulating media has become a growing trend for...
Thank you for the kind words, everyone. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I hope you're doing good, though. That sounds like you're going through a lot. Try to reach out to, like, any friends or family if you can. Definitely. Someone who can actually, like, give you support.
Gen Alpha. Parents are becoming increasingly worried that their kids are becoming like zombies because of this kind of content. Another popular kids show is CoComelon, which is usually targeted toward babies and younger children. CoComelon has become one of the most famous kids shows and has been a go-to entertainment source for parents to show their kids. But in recent months, the once favorable reputation of CoComelon has completely shifted because now parents are starting to discover a correlation between their kids' behavioral issues and the show. On December 26th, 2021...
Do you remember PewDiePie was having a war with CoComelon?
Hey,
for like years?
Look at the media and memes channel in TBH for the worst brain rot video known to man.
Avery.
What is your opinion on DAP NFTs? Buy DAP NFTs. Buy DAP NFTs. Buy DAP NFTs. Buy DAP NFT.
I can't laugh at it. I'll get kicked out the podcast. Shut up.
Hey Byro, I was on ADHD medicine from the age of 10 to getting out of high school. I genuinely can't remember anything from high school. I could focus on school, but everything became a grey-blue that now in my late 20s I can't remember anything. Just blank.
I mean, that's pretty normal, isn't it? I don't remember my childhood, apart from, like, you know, obviously core memories, like riding my first bike and stuff.
Bear 5 is coming. What the fuck?
Das Bullshit and other Gmod content from back then was made for the sake of a joke, whereas the content we see lately is made solely for addicting kids with hyperstimulation. There's no joke, it's just shit.
That might be the most unfunny video I've ever seen. That was awful.
Das Bullshit and other Gmod content from back then was made for the sake of...
Sorry, it's one of those where it was just that bad. I just imagined Elon Musk in my head and I just started laughing. I can't believe I laughed at that. That was like that was like a 500 ping laugh. It was just... It's because I looked in chat and some fucking moron just said Bear 5 is peak.
Das Bullshit and other Gmod content from back then was made for the sake of a joke, whereas the content we see lately is made solely for addicting kids with hyperstimulation. There's no joke, it's just shit.
True, yeah, Das Bullshit did have like kind of a setup and a punchline. It wasn't anything groundbreaking, but true. Yeah, I wonder what Das Bullshit's up to now. I think he's still editing for Vanoss, I'm not really sure. That's cool. I miss his videos.
TikTok user It's Mama Bell posted a video that raised some serious concerns about CoComelon. The text on the video said that she had just switched from showing her kids CoComelon to a YouTuber called Miss Rachel, and that prior to switching, her children would just sit in front of the TV like zombies. In the comments, countless moms agreed with her, saying that Miss Rachel, who is a YouTuber who focuses on educational content, was much more beneficial for their kids. More and more parents realized that their kids were becoming addicted to CoComelon.
This has literally been a thing since like the early 2000s though. Like you just don't put your kid in front of the TV all day because they're absorbing information. And then it gets like very skewed. Thank you, Mr. Wideboard, for the 23 months. I don't feel like this is anything new. It's just becoming more apparent now because we're all growing up around technology.
To the point where they wouldn't be able to move away from the screen, and they weren't learning anything from the show either. The show focused solely on keeping the children's attention with bright colors, repetitive songs, and fast jump cuts, all of which are tactics that the show uses to keep kids hooked.
Let's see how many seconds it takes for each one of these scenes to change. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
Did you see the Black Ops 6 teaser? It's going to be based around the Gulf War and people speculating a 9/11 mission in the game because of the Bush did 9/11 conspiracy.
Would that actually be a thing? Yeah, I want to react to the trailer after this, actually. Thank you, Tyler, for the 10. I don't know why your dono isn't playing. I think the Obama TTS might be broken today. I'm not really sure.
This epidemic of overstimulation can be compared to the feeling that you get from substances, hence why CoComelon is so addictive to children. And it's not just random TikTokers that have said this. Actual childhood experts have chimed in.
To be fair though, like even me as a 27-year-old, like I go onto...
Pyrocynical, did you know that it's only costs $140 to buy DAP NFTs? Buy DAP NFTs. Buy DAP NFTs. Buy DAP NFTs. Buy DAP NFT.
Okay, if anyone doesn't know the bit, Nerd City has a bunch of NFTs. And I was in the To Be Honest server yesterday. And I pretended to be Nerd City and I started atting everyone saying buy my NFTs, and then I got timed out. I got timed out and I got soft banned in my own server. In my own server. Well, technically it's me, Dolan, Nerd, and Colossal, but yeah, Colossal punished me. It was kind of funny. It was fun while it lasted.
Now, agreeing that CoComelon is too overstimulating for kids, which can lead to addiction. CoComelon watchers are usually between 8.
But yeah, like I was saying before, the buy DAP NFTs. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if it means
Pyro,
the 20.
when are you going to admit that you are responsible for brain rot with MLG Teletubbies?
I mean, I didn't do that much brain rot. It wasn't like a series or anything. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, me as a 27-year-old, you know, I'll scroll on TikTok for like an hour, and then I'll be like, oh my god. And then, you know, the funny thing is about TikTok that I've noticed, if you scroll the app for like an hour and then you close the app, do you remember a single video that you watched? You might like save a motivational quote or save a cool video that you liked, and you'll never come back to it. You never do.
Pyro
It's
cynical
such a
at the
waste of
beginning of
time.
his Darkwood video. In the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. 2, and the earth was without form and void.
There's
and
no way you're
darkness was
saying that
upon the
that's
face of
why
the
it's
deep.
16 hours, because
And
I'm
the
explaining how
Spirit
the
of
earth
God
was
moved
formed.
upon the face of the waters.
There is no way that I did not do that. I did not do that.
Ages 2 and 5, which are critical years when it comes to early childhood development. This is the time when kids are developing language.
200% chance that Dono was conniving. Wait, who's conniving? Oh, they're just spamming it in the server, man.
Creativity and social skills. And shows like Cocomelon have possibly
Stop distracting the video with an in-joke, man. I'm burning money. Shut up.
only made these tasks more difficult. And not to mention the disturbing influx of Elsagate content that's taken over.
Oh my god, do you remember that with the bad actors on YouTube? How they do like fetish videos and stuff? Do you remember that? I told you, man, like time is a flat circle. It just changes. It always changes.
Elsagate content.
Pyro, we just met, but I know it don't seem like dull and sloppy sides keep dilla. Bitch, me and Pyro looking in the index for buff niggas just for some hot butt sex. Fly with him, then I can fuck all the sweet men that I wanna.
The Weeknd's least gay lyric. How do I achieve your physique? 1 push-up a year.
That's taken over all of the kid-friendly platforms. And I have a whole separate video of that you can watch. All of this inappropriate content not only has caused concern for Gen Alpha parents, but also for teachers as well. Because not only are kids becoming more addicted to screens.
No one talked about, I mean, people did talk about this stuff, but nowhere near the coverage that like the skibbity toilet brain rot stuff has now.
Generation. It's a common theme in social media for people to say that Gen Alpha is considered one of the dumber generations. The more kids become addicted to their screens.
There's no way he tried to communicate that like they might be a little bit slower, and then he used the nerd emoji. That's crazy.
Generations. The more kids become addicted to their screens, the harder it is for them to live a life away from it. That includes during school hours. It's as if kids are having a harder time paying attention, likely because the internet may be conditioning their brains to shorter content, hence a shorter attention span. Teachers around the world have been going viral on TikTok after sharing just how concerned they are about the educational development of their Gen Alpha students. They have said that students are now reading and writing at several grade levels behind, with a large majority of kids being unable to understand basic literacy, spelling, and grammar.
This 8th grade kid could not spell a single word correctly on his list. 8th grade.
TikTok.
That is pretty mad.
Yes, please fill me about that ass.
What is this, Dono? What is that, Dono? What was that? There's another one. I might cancel it before it plays. I don't know what that dono was. I genuinely have no idea what that dono was. But yeah, I was trying to say, God, that dono was peak brain rot. I've actually completely lost my train of thought.
No Riz. No Gyart. No bitches. XQC haircut.
$10. $10
Missing
message.
textures and error.
Afraid of missing textures and error.
Lesbian.
No, okay, that was different. That was different.
5'5".
That was
slop-
different. Why are we bringing up the error message? That was actually scary. That was actually scary. There's a difference. Like, you've been never scared by a jump scare before, idiot.
TikTok user QB Ski is an elementary school teacher from Atlanta,
Skibidi,
Georgia, who took to TikTok to express his concern for the students in his class. He said that although he teaches
curious, when did you start employing your family? Was it with the start of Pyro Live or earlier?
I've been doing that like the past 6-7 years. It hasn't been recent. I pretty much always employed them. My parents used to be teachers, so yeah, they don't do that anymore because teaching in the UK is hell. You got to deal with like just so much stress, and you get paid actual peanuts. I've been seeing your videos since the MLG days. I think I'm the oldest viewer you have, 34. And now my son is a big fan of yours, so thank you. Thank you, Matty, for the 10. I appreciate it. You're 34 with a kid? Damn. You actually got your life in order. That's crazy. Have you got like letterphobia or something? Like, what is that name? Your A looks like the Among Us character.
7th grade class. Many of his students are nowhere near that level of education.
I teach 7th grade. They are still performing on the 4th grade level. Ain't nobody talking about how they just keep moving, passing them on. I can put as many zeros in this grade book as I want to. They're gonna move that child to the 8th grade next year.
This teacher...
I'll be honest though, like, I never paid attention in school. I remember doing art in school, and I just would always be on my... I wouldn't be on my phone. Oh my god, like, I'm thinking back now how cooked my attention span was. Like, as a kid, I would never pay attention in class. I didn't even have a smartphone. I would literally just, like, talk to other people and stuff and just do anything apart from actually concentrating and doing the work. I was really, really bad. I was actually... Oh my god, that's unlocked a core memory. Yeah, I just remember, like, I would never do art, like, ever pay attention or concentrate. Like, everyone else was working, and I would just be, like, looking around and stuff, not being able to lock in. And I can't even use the phone cope, because I never... Like, it's funny, my mom gave me, like, one of those... You know those Nokia brick phones? The phones that can survive, like, an atomic bomb? She gave me one of those. I think the first thing I had that was, like, a piece of tech was, like, an iPod Touch. Like a second gen or
please
something.
give me your Mega 5'5" sloppy toppy. I yearn to be stuffed by a master of the craft.
Mega 5'5" floppy.
Even stated that some of the students in his class perform at kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade levels, even though...
You also have one of those for the first few years. What, art? Or the 5-foot floppy?
So they're just 2 years away from entering high school. And he's not the only teacher.
I do remember as well, like during lockdown, they had to lower the grades for everyone, the barrier of entry in the UK, because everyone's grades were just being that dog shit. The country was like, okay, we actually need to lower the grades because no one's going to be able to get in. And then the generation after that just got completely annihilated. Oh, you had the Nokia phone.
Pyro,
yeah, I remember the fishing game on it.
I have found one of the good TikTokers. There is this guy called Juik3_X. Look him up. He gives great advice in life and his dedication to his regimen, although lately he's gone a bit down. He might help you a lot. Look him up, Pyro.
Juice
so what you're
3X.
saying is if you had actually paid attention in art class, you wouldn't need to commission art.
Oh my god, that's where I went wrong all along. Oh my god. Yeah, if I just paid attention in art, I could literally just draw art for myself all day. I wouldn't even need to do YouTube. Oh my god. Like, I'm supporting my family and stuff, right? You know? Like, we're very well off now, but I still can't draw for myself.
Double chin.
I think it's over. I think it's actually over.
Yellow teeth. Killed 8,000 yesterday by farting. Mid-looking feet.
Mid-looking feet? What does that mean?
Server.
Okay, you know, I did get banned on my own server, which is crazy.
The YouTuber merch space is a fucking nightmare. You make your own merch, right? Do you think you're ever going to expand?
Expand quite a lot in the stuff I commission, yeah. But with merch, maybe. I was looking at taking on, like, other YouTubers and stuff, definitely. Nah, but imagine though, bro, like if I learnt to draw, I would not even need to be doing YouTube. I'd just be sat in my room all day, no friends, gooning. The best life. God, where did it go so wrong?
Feels this way.
And I teach at one of the more affluent schools. When I tell you that these babies cannot read,
they cannot write, and they cannot comprehend. I'm not being funny.
To be fair, that's most streamers now. Like, I could barely read half of what comes up on chat.
I love how they're blaming short-form content for poor grades. Meanwhile, the Western school system hasn't been updated since 1905.
True.
And it was originally used for teaching kids to be good factory workers.
Oh yeah, public education is shit. That's why I said, like, my parents worked as teachers, and I'm happy that they're not doing that anymore, because it's awful. Like, you deal with the worst. Like, did you know, like, in the UK, if you got, like, a bad kid in class who's, like, a bully, and, you know, he hits other kids, he hits teachers, the school can basically do nothing about it, because if he comes from, like, a rough family or something, like, not a good home life, which obviously isn't the kid's fault, he's basically got, like, diplomatic immunity, to the point that, like, the teachers and the parents can't do anything they can't help the kid, they can't punish the kid. Nothing. They just kind of have to let it happen. It's a terrible system. It really is. It sucks.
When it comes to high school.
But I do always remember, like, lessons in school were just always so boring and just not engaging. I think it shows, like, a chart where it's, like, how you retain information. And reading is, like, the fastest way to lose the retention of information. It's the most boring way. I mean, teachers would occasionally cook at home and then do, like, this PowerPoint presentation. But even then...
School kids, it's not much better, because the creator Cool Nace, aka N, said that her 10th and 11th grade English students were only capable of performing at a 6th or 7th grade reading level despite being in their upper years of high school. And other sources continue to claim that Gen Alpha kids don't only have poor learning skills, they have poor behavior too. Young students misbehaving in the classroom has become the new norm.
My credit card.
Be grown, got Livy done, let's Kabidi Jot, Rizzle him, how mega brainy, rock with extra sloppy toppy, twist on the sides to be dum dum dum, yes, I'm in dong, give him a manga, a goon all day you feel.
That guy's name,
Mr. Pyro.
That guy's name, by the way, that made that AIDS dono, his dono name was his credit card number. Guys, 5188678417373555. Put that into any national credit database and drain that account clean. Drain that account clean. And if they ask for the security number, or they ask for the name or the sort code, just say, I forgot Lamau. Trust me, they don't care. You'll get right through.
We'll say again,
please,
Mr. Pyro,
empty his account.
Teachers like N try to discipline them properly, it doesn't work out.
My principal told me you can't do that in Georgia. They have completely taken discipline out of education at this point, especially in Georgia. Oh. You cannot use the grade book to implement any kind of discipline or any kind of enforcement with students. And
I would let her teach me, if you know what I'm saying.
That is going to be the ruin of our kids.
But it's not just attention disorders that are at fault here. The internet has also given Gen Alpha a golden ticket when it comes to cheating their way through school.
Yes, boys! AI tools Cheating actually became legal. Just don't get caught, boys.
ChatGPT can easily help kids finish their homework in seconds. The shift has reduced the emphasis on work ethic, along with valuable life skills like critical thinking and communication. Without these skills, Gen Alpha has become prone to all sorts of influences, because since they are so conditioned to only look at the surface level, they take most of what they see on social media as the truth without researching for themselves and questioning it. Everything they see online is immediately taken as a fact, which is detrimental to these young, impressionable kids. And companies are taking advantage of this. They're targeting a demographic that they shouldn't be. Kids. The gullible generation.
ChatGPT helps me finish as well. Helps you finish what? What does it help you finish? What does ChatGPT help you finish?
Anywhere you go on the internet, you are destined to run into an advertisement. Whether on the TikTok shop or just casually scrolling on social media, marketing has evolved from billboards and news.
What did it help you finish? Research? What kind of research? You can't even use it. You can't even use it for NSFW. I tried to write some story about, like, Tali'Zorah from Mass Effect and it banned me. It doesn't work.
Papers to scrolling on your phone.
I've literally tried it before.
Adults are able to understand what an organic piece of content is versus a paid promotion, but young kids are less perceptive of this. They use viral trends as guidelines for what they should or should not like, even if it's not meant for them.
As kids consume more online content, including advertising, they're being influenced to buy products that are just not made for them.
We see this happening all the
It is crazy how you'll get kids that are like way too much into their skincare now when they're like 10. Meanwhile, you will have like guys in their 30s and their skincare routine is just soap on the sink, and then a towel to dry their face, and that's it.
The time with Gen Alpha, especially due to the rising
It does. You just have to phrase it in a way that prevents the flag. That's crazy. Giving me tips on how to goon is crazy. That's wild. You guys are sick in the head.
Influence of TikTok, but they aren't alone. Millennials and older generations drive forward.
What? Why does she need to do skincare? She literally came out the womb like a week ago.
Forward these trends and make them mainstream on social media. One product being.
Oh God. I hate looking at all those kids. I could just like I feel like in 30 years from now they're just going to be doing the millennial pause
on social media. One product.
Mummy, can I do some skincare? I saw Emma Chamberlain do it. You know the one that had sex with the Dolan twins?
Drive forward these trends and make them mainstream on social media.
I think this is such an alarmist vid. The reason we are aware of this bullshit is because kids are online and how connected it is. Before all you saw is your cousin acting immature and thinking that cause you ain't talking to 7-year-olds.
What do you mean alarmists, like kind of overreacting a little bit?
I just want to say that the greasy guy who said if Pyro studied he'd save money on comms stole my joke. I said
that's
it in
crazy.
chat first. Most creative Pyro fan
That's
ever.
crazy that you claimed you like. This is how down bad the Pyro fan base is. Someone made a joke, I laughed, and now you have someone paying $10 to then claim that his joke was stolen. Like, you didn't file a trademark on it, bro. You said it in chat and someone yoinked it. I'm gonna believe whoever gives me the most amount of money. If you guys want to start doing like a dono war, I'm totally down for that. I'm totally down for that.
Media.
Thank you, Macra, for the 23 months.
One product being the infamous Stanley Cup.
Drawing screams of excitement.
Okay, this Stanley Cup thing is definitely a bit of a reach because, like, kids will follow any trend, right? Like, oh my God, I got the PS2, I got the Xbox, I got the DS, I got the thing that everyone at school's talking about. I remember, like, I had a Game Boy Advance in school, and I was, like, the coolest kid in school for, like, a full day until some kid robbed it off me.
Years of joy. This year's hottest status symbol and most coveted holiday gift is the Stanley Tumbler.
This Tumbler Cup has become the reason for...
Do you remember how Stanley, the tumblers got so big because there was that woman that her car got set on fire and only the Stanley Cup survived, and then the company was like, we're not going to do this again, but we're going to send you a car and a Stanley Cup. I've seen so many conspiracy theories online that was all a PR stunt. And the more I look into it, the more I do actually believe it.
Oink, oink, oink. Come on now, little piggies. The slop trove ain't empty in itself.
I give it the 10.
News headlines and heavy in-person lines as early as 4 a.m. And because it's so popular, people are willing to go to the ends of the earth to get one. Although this is the new craze, if you want to get your hands on one, it won't be cheap.
There it is.
The Stanley Tumbler will run you back around $45 USD, with limited edition cups costing even more than that. This cost is pretty hefty for a water bottle, and it's definitely not one that everyone can afford. But there are consequences if you can't pay for one.
Ohio mom Dana Motika went viral on TikTok, posting how her 9-year-old daughter was bullied for bringing a less expensive look-alike to school.
Dana.
Only in Ohio. Only in Ohio. Am I right, guys? Only in Ohio. I mean, yeah, that happens though. Like, again, this isn't anything new though. It's like, you know, you always have like kids that have like the cheap imitation. They always get bullied and they get called poor. Kids at school, they are just balls of like hormones and stuff, right? Like you notice that anyone in school that doesn't stand their ground, they'll get picked on relentlessly. Anyone that's not part of the group. When you're growing up and you're that young, you're like mad insecure and you'll do anything to try and like stand out, but you also want to like feel you're part of like the group as well. So yeah, if you see a kid that's got like some shitty little like $2 Stanley Cup that's made out of like cardboard, yeah, they're gonna get bullied. It happens.
Was bullied for bringing a less expensive look-alike to school.
Yeah,
Dana had bought her
unwarranted. For all the dipshits in the chat saying I'll take, remember your goofy ass acted like a moron cause you saw that on TV or from a game. It might be slightly worse due to internet, but it's just the same shit done over and over.
Either the 10 snort.
Her daughter a $10 Stanley look-alike from Walmart as a gift for Christmas. Her daughter brought the cup to school after Christmas break, only to come home upset because kids in school were bullying her. The sole reason, because her Stanley Cup was fake. Over the break, multiple girls in her grade had gotten real Stanley Cups as presents, and they were quick to call out Dana's
elementary schools be Lord of the Flies.
daughter for her dupe. They said,
wait, you touched a child? Oh Jesus. Someone in chat just said, I'm very in touch with my inner child. I thought you said something very different there. Something very different.
Hey Pyro, I know this isn't relevant to the video, but I'm just wondering if your original purple hat is still for sale. I'm down to buy it for £300. My Discord handle is SatanIamMusic, so add me if you're down.
Thank you, Satan, for the 10. Now, we're probably just going to put them up for sale. I will do the Black Mesa stream later on today, though.
Bruh. 2 chins ahead. Pyro is always 2 chins ahead. He is thirsty from inflation, from time unslopped. It's brilliant, but it's also dangerous.
Please watch Murder Drones.
What's Murder Drones?
Pyro Play Animal School of Education.
Hers was not as cool and made fun of her because of it. To us, it might seem wild that a young girl is...
I use Space Macaroni for 22.
Byro, saw Ervod on Greylock and I really love that you're watching all these analog horror series. However, I wanted to know if you've heard of the controversial series called Urban Spook,
Urban
and the
Spook, I
creator
have.
throwing a fit on Twitter over criticism, lol.
Didn't he become a little bit self-aware towards the end? But yeah, no, I've seen his criticism and how he had a little bit of a meltdown. Thank you, Space, the 22. I hope some of this money's gone towards fat art. Believe me, it will. Thank you, Nova, for the 10. Out of curiosity, are you in need of editors, other roles? And if so, is there a place to go? Yeah, send me your portfolio. I mean, we've got enough editors right now, but I can always look into having more. If you've got a portfolio, DM me on Twitter because my DMs are open. Yeah, just send like a portfolio or something if you got one, because that'd be much appreciated.
Hey Pyro, you say giving you going tips is crazy. Well, let me be the Joker then. Use character rights limits are basically P&V, but it certainly can do fat, feet, slobby stuff. Ect. Do they steal your information?
Thank you, Ashley, for joining. What was that about the... Use the character AI. Use character AI. Oh, that's the chat site. That's right.
Is being bullied over not having an expensive water bottle. But for Gen Alpha, this is their new reality. Gen Alpha has become possibly one...
Character AI is for losers. You can't do anything NSFW on character AI. The bot just stops speaking to you. Like, it does suck. It is just absolutely useless.
One of the most materialistic generations ever. With so much advertising being shown at their young eyes, these kids feel the need to buy everything they see or face the fear.
That's crazy how me saying that activated all the gooners. You instantly have a bunch of people. So many people have just came out of chat being like, actually, you need to train the model. Actually.
Fear of not fitting in. And it's not just Stanley Cups that have proven this. Earlier this year, the beauty retailer Sephora made headlines after multiple story times about Sephora 10-year-olds went viral.
Lately?
There's a guy I listen to called Blade. Very underrated.
On TikTok.
Viral clips have been going around of kids going in Sephora making a big mess.
Yeah, they're called Sephora
During this
kids.
trend, dozens of people flooded the TikTok For You page with their own personal horror stories with generations.
Because unfortunately, it is like millennials that go onto TikTok or Gen X Gen Z even. They get a brand deal. They start shilling it. And then, like, TikTok is mostly kids because kids have the most amount of spare time. They then go onto it and it's like, oh, I get glowing skin as well, mummy.
Alpha shoppers at the makeup store.
I mean, I don't really mind that kids have a skincare routine. I think that's okay because that promotes something that they're going to use later down the road. But I know for a fact a lot of skincare stuff, especially exfoliatives, they do have, like, acid and stuff in them, which is really bad for growing skin. Like, you can get, like, stretch marks. Not stretch marks. You can get, like, holes, blemishes. I'm not sure what the right word for it is, but it's really bad. Some of the stuff is really bad for developing skin.
They complained that the kids were...
Just to finish my donut from earlier, expire. Oh my god, bro. The guy who gave out his card, chat. All right, chat, I'm going to read his whole card out on stream. I'm reading his whole card out on stream. Hang on. Okay, long card number. 5188678417373544 08/2025, and then his security code is 088. Drain his account.
Rude and had no respect.
Drain his account for coming onto my stream and talking smack. Drain. I want that drained like a Blade concert.
For anyone
Pyro,
or
I
any...
want to slit your throat and drink your sweat and sweet Twinkie juice.
What?
Your chin will be a wonderful edging session for me.
In the store.
I'm in Sephora right now, and I'm gonna count how many 10-year-olds I see. 1, 2, 3. Currently walking past a 10-year-old getting her eyebrows done. 4, 5, 6.
Dude, my childhood, like, I was definitely an incel as a kid, 100%. Like, absolutely. Awkward, cringy, next to zero friends. But oh my god, I am so happy that I grew up like 20 years ago and like not today, because oh my god, it has gotten so... Wait, it worked? The card worked? How much money you get out? How much money you get out? Withdraw 10 million. Withdraw 10 million and give it to me as a donor. Withdraw $10 million out of his account and send it to me.
Whole group of them.
And no. Withdraw 9,900,000 and give $100,000 to charity. I'm a villain, not a monster.
Over here.
Kids as young as 4 were shopping in the aisles of Sephora for expensive beauty products that they clearly did not need. And the reason behind it, the internet.
All she wants for the holidays is, well, not toys, but skincare products.
All I wanted this year was skincare and makeup.
Social media has become Gen Alpha's go-to guide for how to live their life. Whatever they see influencers do, they want to do. Whatever they see influencers buy, they want to buy. With every beauty influencer on platforms like TikTok and Instagram becoming obsessed with skincare, it was only natural for Gen Alpha kids to follow in their...
Pyro, you can drain me any day, no card needed. Thank you, Ashley, for the 2.
Footsteps. But this can be a red flag, especially for parents, as social media sets a bad example for young girls. The Sephora Kids trend is a prime example. These young girls do not need to be spending hundreds of dollars on beauty products that are targeted at adults. These products have chemicals and ingredients that can be harmful to kids, especially the ones that have gone viral online. Yeah. Drunk Elephant is the name on every Gen Alpha's tongue.
I saw someone in chat was saying Drunk Elephant.
This dude is yapping so much. Like kids do.
What's
this
so bad about Drunk
Elephant? Bullying for fake Jordans and Nikes, or wearing poor shoes like Skechers, being materialistic around popular things that kids get to feel validated, like holy shit Yapatron T3000.
Yeah, it's not like it's anything new. I know what you mean. It's like the Drunk Elephant and stuff, but yeah, no, I know what you mean about like the virtues of it. Like everyone got bullied at school if you were poor, if you didn't have the most up-to-date stuff.
I know it's played out to say, but I think the biggest problem with the generation isn't push for beauty and attractiveness. Kids wanting to look sexy. Hell, a friend of mine's sister 10 was sending nudes to dudes on Discord.
I hope that was a bit what you just said there. Oh my god. Don't you need to be 13 to use a Discord account anyway? Isn't it 13 for like every social media? Jesus. Thank you, Jamie, for the 5. Grew up 20 years ago, but still listens to Blade.
Priya, you're in COD. Chin has biggest tit bot.
up it to 18. Yeah, I actually would not be against that at all.
A skincare brand.
But I know if I was like an actual 13-year-old, I'd be like, oh, that's so out of touch, please. But me as like an old, crippled, dying man, I'm like, yeah, no, it should actually be raised to 18.
And meant for millennials, now a larger portion of drunk elephants.
26 tomorrow. How are the mid-20s treating you?
How are the mid-20s treating me? I'm 27. I can't... Oh, I guess 27 is technically the last year of the mid-20s. Maybe. But yeah, you turn 26 tomorrow. Happy birthday, bro. It's over for you. It only gets worse from here.
Consumer base consists of beauty-obsessed kids. With
hey, Pyro, I wanted to ask if you ever watched Andor, genuinely the best thing to come out of Star Wars, despite almost everyone being British?
I haven't watched Andor. I've heard it's good, though. I mean, for Star Wars, it's good, which isn't saying much, but...
To upwards of over $100. This is definitely not a brand that most kids...
$100? Okay, the skincare I use, the Le Praire, is disgustingly overpriced, but that's literally stuff that the Kardashians use. Like, that's what people... Like, I spent way too much money on that, but I've also had that stuff for, like, 2 years, and it still hasn't run out. But yeah, like, that much is crazy.
Kids can afford to buy, at least without the help of their parents.
Like, keep in mind, I'm like a YouTuber with disgusting amounts of disposable income. I'm in my 20s. I'm allowed to make that choice. This is like 10-year-olds begging their mum to buy it for them.
But is this really something that parents want to be getting for their kids?
It's like Prime and stuff. Like, you think like little Timmy's buying a bottle of Prime Energy? No, it's the parent. It's always the parent that pays.
Many of these drunk elephant products contain ingredients like peptides, acids, and retinol, which can all be damaging to youthful skin. Retinol is a form of vitamin A that's known for its anti-aging effects, with higher concentrations being used to fight wrinkles. These kinds of high concentrations are regularly found in beauty products and are definitely not meant for young girls. But it's not only physical health concerns the parents are having about this growing obsession with skin.
Thank you, Ringo, for the 17 months. I forgot to tell you happy birthday. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Means a lot.
Hair and makeup. It's also the mental effects too.
Social media is doing this, and you know, this could be setting up a lot of young girls with issues that...
What is that? Hello? Hello? What's the bit? Hello? Is that my plug?
That'll follow them well into adulthood.
Young girls are constantly being overwhelmed with societal beauty standards and ever-changing trends in fashion and beauty. And for Gen Alpha, this pressure has only increased with the influx of social media influencers. They look up to influencers
more. They took her phone away and only let her use the PC for school. Then threatened to game end. Went to asylum for 2 weeks.
Jesus.
Then 3 days later they found a shaky toy under her pillow.
Oh my God.
It's screwed up out here.
At 10 years old as well? Jesus Christ. They took away her phone. I mean, yeah, that's... Unfortunately, that is probably the best thing you could do at that point, definitely. Went to an asylum. Oh my God. Yeah, I hope she's okay. Why, is it like a family member or something? But, oh my God. Thank you, Jamie, for the 5. I'd rather blow my paycheck to pay on someone's Newports.
More than they do their own parents. But is this...
Thank you, Ombre, for the 10. The gold... You're the gold warrior of slop. May your keyboard be crusty, your sweat be greasy, your height may be short, and your slop be toxic.
Influence.
That's...
Positive.
I would time you out, but you gave me $5, so I'll let it slide.
Or negative. I'm addicted. Gen Alpha is social media obsessed. It's said that by the age of 1, the average Gen Alpha kid already has over 100 pictures of them posted on social media. Almost every Gen Alpha kid is on
100 pictures of yourself like the average age is an 8-year-old. What? What? No. If it's between 2014 and now, then that would mean they're like 5. What? How are you gonna... Bro, I do not ever take pictures of myself anymore. If I died or something, my family in memorial photos, they're gonna use like me on live streams being roasted by chat. Like, I do not take pictures anymore. Like, barely. 100. What do you do? Like, oh yeah, no, to be fair though, when I am scrolling TikTok, I will find like an obvious like 7-year-old, and she's just got like a selfie of herself that she's for some reason posted on TikTok. and the algorithm just does not detect that it's an underage and should ban them like immediately. You know when you scroll on TikTok and then you just get a random TikTok that just has 0 likes? Like just absolute garbage. And if it's something funny, you'll notice that there's a lot of reshares and it might blow up later, but usually not.
Media. It's their main form.
Hi Pyro. Since you started streaming earlier than usual today, I think this might be a cool opportunity to try out a new idea. Why don't you do a Bluetooth speaker sleep stream where chat can send videos and music to the playlist while you sleep?
That's a very good idea. I'm not doing that today, but I do want to do that at some point. I think that could be really good.
Form of communication with their friends and where they get the latest news. But their social media screen time is often unregulated by parents, so there's no telling what these Gen Alpha kids are watching on their devices. And that's the scary part. Although most social media platforms have age restrictions or content guidelines, kids...
You can literally just lie though. So are you 18? Not today. But maybe.
Can
perchance
easily bypass them just by lying about their age. And regardless if the platform is meant for younger audiences, anyone can break the rules by posting inappropriate content anyway. TikTok, the most popular platform for Gen Alpha, is a mishmash of all different sorts of content. The For You page throws a bunch of different videos together in an endless scroll, showing users...
Cube Cooper said, I always click I'm 18. How old are you? How old are you, Cube? How old are you? I always make my birth the oldest possible. Yeah, I noticed on Steam, I just put, I put that my age is, you're 3 years old. Yeah, you're banned. Yeah, you're banned. Gone. Yeah, and banned. Goodbye. No 3-year-olds in chat.
There's the type of content.
Thank you, Snore, for the 5. I saw some dudes say that it's the scale, it's worrying to a certain extent. It's due to the internet. Yeah, I do like how age verification is just like an actual meme. It's like, when were you born? And then you just put like, you know, you were born in the 1800s. Like you were born when like, you know, John Marston in Red Dead 1 was alive. And it's like, oh yeah, it's okay.
They like, as well as new content that they've never seen before. One of the most common...
Thank you, Hatless, for the 11. It's sad that in 3 days, I'll be a member for a year.
Pyro,
what's your return? Nothing.
By the way, has anyone
Absolutely
told you
nothing.
that you look like Arnold Shortman?
Who's Arnold Shortman? The hat is crazy. The hat is crazy. My face is not that wide. Isn't he Jewish as well? He's got the little Jew hat on. I'm not Jewish, dude.
Trends that you can find on social media is thirst trap.
Thank you, Middle Class Bear, for the 22 months.
This form of content is meant to attract attention from viewers, usually in the form of posing, dancing, or acting seductively.
Wait, it's a cap? No. I swear in an episode he wears one of the yarmulkes. He wears a yarmulke. I did not make this up. Oh no, it was that guy. And never mind. He is a Jew though. Yeah, he is Jewish. I told you. He actually has a bar mitzvah. He is a Jew. I knew it. I knew I wasn't misremembering that.
If Pyro does a sleep stream, I can see the N-word complication on repeat or maybe belly gurgling sounds. I doubt chat would want to give him good dreams, but maybe something moist.
The feature of this content is meant for a much older audience. There's a ton of kids participating in these trends without realizing its implication.
I actually don't despise anything more than like going on TikTok and seeing like wholesome Chungus TikTok couples. And then, you know what I've noticed is like, if there's a TikTok account and it has more than 10 million followers, it is peak normie. It is the most safe... That looks like Finster, by the way. It's like this kind of safe content that you could share with like your mom, your nan, your granddad, because that's what they want. They want it to be like the most safe, shareable content imaginable.
It's become more and more common to see a Gen Alpha...
Yeah, TikTok couples are like, what if wholesome but Chungus? And then they just always end up cheating on each other.
A kid dressed up in revealing clothing making thirst trap content, which in itself is already unsettling. But not to mention...
Finster's so hot. Yeah, he asked me like when I was starting at OnlyFans. When I met him. And he still goes by he pronouns, so you can't cancel me. Thank you, Amelia, for 9 months. Joining to celebrate. And I hear Pyro screaming, he's a Jew. Is that a new... No, it's not a bit. It's not a new bit. I'm not doing a bit where I'm just calling people Jews. Stop it. Thank you, Gareth, for the 5, especially as more products similar to the Apple Vision Pro. Oh yeah, but that's expensive though. Like you're not going to expect every kid to be using that. You'll probably get off-brand versions though.
There's no telling who's watching or saving this content online, which can leave them
Pyro,
vulnerable.
you look so dehydrated. Let me give you my juice. Good boy. Drink it all.
I just realized I just realized I was drinking water as that dono came in. Yeah. Did not mean to do that, by the way. Did not mean to do that.
To a certain audience that may have other intentions. With the influx of OF promotions, adult content is becoming more accessible. With social media heavily influencing young people, it's become difficult for them. More accessible. With social media heavily...
Why do we just have, like, a generation of people that, like, they came out the same test tube as Timothy Chalamet? I don't get it. Like, if you're happy doing TikToks, doing thirst traps in like, your bedroom, I get it. But then if you're spending the other 9 hours of the day mewing, looking in the mirror, is it really worth it?
Influencing young people, it's become difficult for them to see the importance of real relationships.
The worst thing is that guy could be a fan of me, and I've just absolutely roasted him. So I'm sorry about that.
1 in 4 children go outside to play nowadays, missing crucial social interactions. Most of Gen Alpha spends their time indoors consuming media meant for it.
I'll be honest, I never went outside as a kid. I'm very sure it's gotten worse now, but I was such an incel. I like how I was saying incel. I could say shut in, but I'm going to say incel because my brain's fried. Like, as a kid, I was such an incel. Like, I never went outside. Always inside. Always, like, on my family computer or, you know, not getting that much social interaction. If there was, like, any socializing, it'd be stuff that my parents organized, basically, for me, which is very sweet of them. But, like, me on my own, I just wasn't very proactive with getting into social situations and meeting new people. I mean, look at me. I turned out fine. Completely normal. Nothing wrong or underlying with me at all. Perfectly normal human. Perfectly.
Adults. The severe dopamine addictions from internet platforms like TikTok have resulted in negative effects on younger generations, as simple as enjoying their day-to-day life. Kids no longer have the patience for anything because they're so used to the instant gratification that social media provides.
Always inside while living in beautiful Great Britain. I mean, what'd you do? Go outside, you get rained on, or you get stabbed. That's it.
Kids can't do simple...
Fine is wild. All right, fair enough.
Everyday tasks like brushing their teeth, eating food, or using the restroom without the constant stimulation of a screen. Gen Alpha becomes impatient and frustrated at the drop of a hat, with even the smallest inconveniences getting blown out of proportion, turning into full tantrums or breakdowns. With most of their learning coming from the internet, they're being exposed to horrible...
I do love these videos, though, where they get, like, the kids to watch Skibidi Toilet, because it's so obvious that the older brother has put them up to it for content. Like, the kids are not watching that on their own.
Behavior from those entitled influencers that they see online.
And when you look at the biggest influencers now who flaunt their opulent lifestyles and endorse things like OnlyFans, are these really the people you want raising your children?
Now,
dude,
opulent lifestyles and endorse things like OnlyFans, are these really...
Dude, there's the neon boys in the chat. Yo, we got the neon fan base here, boys. Let's go. Let's go. They're definitely typing El Riz in chat right now. Let's go, boys.
Now the question
representation,
is Generation
finally.
Alpha really doomed?
There's no way you said Pyro. There's no way you said Pyro fans. There's no way.
Problems of Gen Alpha, but there are still many strengths that they have. Gen Alpha has access to more resources, knowledge, and tools than ever before. They're living in an exciting time, with technology advancing at such a rapid pace and them being so adaptable to it. If they're able to use the internet for good rather than bad, they can become some of the most visual venture. Wait.
That video was so bleak and it just came with like a really random positive message near the end. Thank you, XP Boy, for the 17 months. Is that a picture of me? What are your thoughts on about when Gen Alpha, when they become adults. I think despite all that, most of them are just going to be normal adults. Yeah, they'll be normal. I could use like my bitter old man logic and be like, oh, just waving my walking stick. They're gonna be so cooked, chat. They're gonna be so cooked. I don't think they'd be that bad.